Hi guys, today's video is on what you need for a hamster. So the first thing you're going to want to get is an enclosure for your hamster. I have a bin cage for a dwarf winter white hamster. The recommendations for a Syrian is a 80 by 40 by 40 centimeters cage. That's the minimum. Well, it's a suggestion one. You really want one as big as you can get. My winter white dwarf lives in a 60 by 40 by 18 centimeters, but he's a dwarf hamster and he's a very old one now, so he doesn't need as much. He can't really get around much places, so I've kept not to a minimum, but enough space for him to actually move around in. So there's many different enclosures you can actually get. You can buy a store-bought cage, but they don't tend to be the recommended sizes for your hamster cage. I find a bin cage is a lot cheaper, and you can actually make it bigger and better. Well, not so much better. They're not the prettiest looking things, but you can kind of like customize them the way you want them. And you can also go up instead of going out, so it saves a lot more space. But there are many different cages out there. Snow used to live in a Combi 1 fur class cage, which was from Pets at Home for £21, and it was half the size of this. It was probably from here to here, which was definitely not big enough, and he was quite a young hamster at the time. Now I've moved him to a bin cage. He's a lot more happier, and if you check out my other videos on how I make my bin cages levels, they used to live in 3 levels, but I'm not going to go into that, but check out my videos for that. Your best bet if you want to go for the store-bought cage is going for the biggest as possible. They can become quite expensive, but you want bigger the better. I'm going to start off with bedding for your hamster. You obviously need bedding. We've got wood shavings. Some people don't recommend wood shavings, but if they're dust extracted, which it says there, you shouldn't really have a problem. Although you can get different kinds of bedding. You can get from Fitch, Megazorb. There's just so many out there you can range from. But I use wood shavings, which is a snowflake one, it's the best I can find, and I also use K-Fresh. It's the K-Fresh colours. This is a bit more, well, it's a lot more expensive than the wood shavings, but I use this in the bed area. It's got a different kind of base, so it feels different on its paws. If I had to recommend out of these two, I would definitely recommend the K-Fresh, but the wood shavings works fine too. As long as you don't get sawdust, because sawdust is dust, and hamsters cannot have dust as it can cause respiratory problems. As we're still on bedding, if you're in the UK, the best bedding I tend to recommend is Wilkinson's Everyday Value paper flake bedding, and you've got the vegetable parchment pet bedding. It says you can use for guinea pigs, but I don't recommend it for guinea pigs. This is nice and cheap, and it can be quite colourful, or you just got plain colour one. It's a nice soft bedding. Quite a lot of hamster owners do use this bedding. There's also other alternatives as well. You can use toilet roll, shredded paper, but I tend to buy this stuff as it lasts me a very long time. And it kind of looks like that. The pet flake bedding does, and this one's a nice soft one too. Another important part in for a hamster is the hamster food. This kind of varies. There's many different hamster mueslis out there. I personally prefer muesli for a hamster because they like good variety, and they like to use it for forage, and they like all kinds of pieces. In here I just have the wag mix, hamster mix, and I just added some monkey nuts, and I've added some little bit of mealworms in there too. There's many different hamster mixes you can get out there, but I feel the best one is the Harry Hamster. Once my hamster's finished on this food, I will be moving into this food, but I'll just be adding in his diet. It looks like that, and I feel this is the best one recommended because it's by Supreme, and it's good variety in there. but you can get all different ones, different types of hamster foods. While we're still on the food subject, hamsters can have many different treats. They can have obviously a lot of hamster treats, which are really good for your hamsters, which I haven't actually got any out at the moment. I've got seed bars, which look like these. You've got all different styles of these. Got a bird block type one, which is perfectly safe for hamster. Stylish type ones that are shaped, and also ones you can hang in the cage. And these vary too. You can get different flavours, different makes, and different styles. Hamsters really enjoy these because they can just pick it off, and it's good for enrichment. These treats are completely safe for hamsters too. They're not hamster actual treats, but they're good for them too. We got cat type treats, which these are the dreamies, just for an example. We got dog type treats, which these are the pedigree cheesy bites, for an example, and also bird type treats, which these are the mealworms, which are for an example, and they're all perfectly safe for hamsters. A recommended product is also to get your hamster somewhere to sleep. I have a plastic one here which normally comes with your hamster cage, but I find these are too small. Although my dwarf does fit in there, I don't personally like a plastic one. I prefer to use wooden houses, as they can actually chew these too, and they give plenty of space. And you've also got the bridgey type ones you can use for bed too. These ones do come with your pencil cages, which I have mentioned, but as they're plastic, I don't tend to recommend these because I can chew them. Then we go on to water bottles or water bowls. I don't personally like to use water bowls, but some people do. But I tend to use water bottles because they keep them a lot cleaner, and hamsters can adapt to these quite easily, and they can't tip them over. So we've got many different types. We've got Savic types, Living World types, which I have actually got one of these at the moment. I use a classic one there. Doesn't really matter about the size, as long as you change your water every single day, which is supposed to anyway. Your best bet is to actually get a Living World water bottle, as classics do tend to leak, although mine don't. The next thing you have to have for your hamster is a food bowl. Although you can scatter feed, but when your hamster gets older, I prefer to give him a food bowl. We got these plant pot types, which I don't use anymore because I noticed he started chewing them because they were plastic. But the ones that come with the cages, I got a red one and an orange one, and I got a ceramic dotty one, which I personally prefer, which is actually in his cage right now. Ceramics are better because my hamster likes to tip over his food bowl, and with the ceramic ones, they're too heavy for him to knock down, whereas they can quite easily knock these over and tip food everywhere. And you need a food bowl that's actually big enough for your hamster to sit in, as some hamsters prefer to sit in them. This is perfect size, but my hamster can actually fit in this one too. Another important thing you want to get for your hamster, as a rodent, teeth constantly grows, so obviously a hamster is a rodent and they will need plenty of things to chew on. There's many varieties out there. You've got dog type Antos chews, just normal willow sticks, kiwi sticks. You've got the ones with the little alfalfa bits inside them. You've got just flavoured sticks. You've got tunnels that obviously are free if you buy the packets go with them, which mine completely enjoy. We've got tunnels, toilet roll tunnels. There are so many chews you can choose from, and there's many things you can use for them for chewing, as long as they're safe for your hamster. Another complete safe toy for hamsters are the seagrass types. These are the Wilkinson placemats. Another piece which is actually fallen off, and you've got like the ball rush ball types. Although my hamster doesn't pay a lot of attention to these, they also come in handy as well if your hamster ever wants to chew. An optional part to getting stuff for your hamster is the bath sand. This is the chinchilla sand. Make sure it is chinchilla sand, not dust. Obviously dust can cause respiratory problems. This is good for your hamster to have a bath in. I'd place a good scoop in there every other week, so your hamster can have a bath and it keeps nice and clean. That's just optional. Next thing you need for your hamster is the cleaning products. and there's so many out there, different types, but I personally like the Johnson's Clean and Safe, and I'd use vinegar white solution for a cheap way out of it too. If I run out of this, I've always got this as backup. We need to dilute this with water, and then just a sponge. We don't actually need the sponge, you can use kitchen roll, but you need a disinfectant for when cleaning out your your hamster's cage. And finally, we're on to exercise for your hamster. These are very crucial for your hamster's life. In your hamster's life, we got a playpen, which are specially designed for hamsters. Although my last hamster could actually climb out of it, my hamster I got now cannot. These are 2 playpens. They're just placed in here. You can get these from pets at home, and you can actually make them yourself out of cardboard boxes and everything. But obviously, you need to supervise your hamster at all times. Another thing you do need for your hamster is an exercise ball. This is a mini. Some people do not recommend hamster balls because they get their feet caught in them, but I've never had any problems with them, and I've had a 3-legged hamster that I've gone in these balls and he's been perfectly fine with them. Get some pets at home bargains, and we want different kinds of colours too. And then you got onto the wheels. You can get many different kinds of wheels. You can get rodent wheels, Savage wheels, pet store cage wheels, but I have the silent spinner because I find this the best one for my dwarf hamster. Although this is a 6-inch, you do need a bigger size obviously for a Syrian. There's many different wheels out there, and if you just check out websites, and they'll be on there. But I definitely like this type one. Obviously, to get a Syrian, you need like an 8-inch size for her. So that's it, guys. I hope it helped you in any way, and please give it a thumbs up, and please comment, thumbs up, and request and sub. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.